Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Come on in. Let's get busy. It's time to get on it and own it. How do you like this flat hairdo here? This is just blow dried, no curly, no nothing. That's right, Leanne's hair. It's got its own Facebook page almost. I'm sitting here talking to myself. I see no one at this time. But I know you're going to show up. Come on, let's go. Let's go. There's people. Yay! Yay, yay! Come on in. It's slow mo. But we can make it happen. Are you telling your friends about this? Are you getting yourselves in? Let's do it. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. There's my girl, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Who else is here? Say hello. Say hello. We've got our things to do, our places to go, our people to see. There's Lucy. Hello, Lucy. We love Lucy. I knew you were here. There's our girl Jenny and Joanne. I'm seeing all my people. I love it when you guys start showing up. Makes it all good. Good, good, good. We've got things to do today. It's Thirsty Thursday. And I asked you a question. Who drives your car? We got 15 now, Lucy. You know, as soon as you start to type, they start to come in. It's funny, though, because I had my computer top up while I started my Facebook Live yesterday, and I noticed it was about 5 to 10 minutes in before everybody started getting the notification, because that's when I got mine, which was interesting. Hi, Marianne. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yes, today is Thirsty Thursday, and Thirsty Thursday is when we are just examining the things that we're thirsting for, that we're hungering for, and the things that we need to add into our lives so that we can light it all on fire. There's my girl Yvonne. I know, Lucy, you never miss. I love seeing you here. I always look for your little pineapple. Yeah, I have a little sticker that I had a fortune cookie. You know I don't eat those, but I do open them. So I opened up my fortune cookie. I was out to dinner with Marla and Robert, and my fortune cookie said, "We write our own destiny. We become what we do." Isn't that a cool fortune cookie? So I was like, yeah, cool. I like that. So I cut it to fit and put some tape on it, and it's now when I pop up my laptop, there it is looking at me. I love that. There's Donna and Helen. Hi, guys. Come on in. Now, asking all those who are here, did you get your notification? Or is it just that you're such fans that you show up without the notification? Just wondering, because, you know, notifications are funny things. Sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't. And I'm one of the don'ts. So at this point, it's 1:04. I wonder if I got a notification. I'm just looking. Anybody else get theirs? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We have things to do today. We're going to just start doing them anyway as people come in later and later, right? So let me grab my notes wherever they went. Oh, they're right over here. I got that because I do need a note. I mean, I'm, not all wise. I need to have a little cheat sheet sometimes. See, Helen's saying no, she didn't get it. Hi, Gwen. Did you get your notification or you just knew to come? So I just don't know. I mean, you can tell Mr. Zuckerberg to call me, let's get this fixed. Ooh, mosaic. Joanne got hers. Okay, good. That's good. That means that everybody's going to start getting there. So Jill didn't get hers. See? But hi, Jill, and hi, Katrina. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. And I noticed that yesterday that, I had my notes all propped up on my laptop, and then there was a notification that came up and said, Saving Dinner's live. I'm like, well, 10 minutes too late, but whatever. You can't get it in unless you get a notification. What are you working on, Kimberly? That's weird. Hi, Kimberly, by the way. Good to see you guys. Okay. Well, there's Deborah. Hi, Deborah. Good to see you. So let's get going here. And, I have hinted broadly to this that at the very end of the week, which is the 29th, by the way, we got an extra bonus day. This is leap year. We have coming up at the very end of the week is the end of our Bloom event. The end of the Bloom event, which means that if you are not registered for the Bloom event by the end of the week, you're not going to be able to get in because we are going to be cutting off registration. Sorry. We're here in Brevard, North Carolina. That's right outside of Asheville. That's where you would fly in if you were flying in, or you fly into Charlotte and drive in. Here's what you need to know. There's Donna. I just met with Donna recently. She's fantastic. And my girl Catherine, who dropped a truth bomb and a half yesterday. I love that. I love what Catherine had to say. Catherine said that the sprint isn't a diet, it's an education. Brilliant. And that's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. But anyway, the Bloom event, back to that. Hi, Yolanda. The Bloom event is amazing because the Bloom event is the in-person, let's get together and jam on it for the entire day. It's called Full Bloom because as women, that's where we want to be, in the full bloom place. And it said on the page that I'm describing the whole thing, and this is how it came to me, was that when you look at a flower that is in full bloom, that is just at its most glorious place, that's a picture. I mean, a rosebud is beautiful, but a full bloomed cabbage rose, that's glorious. And that's the place we want to be. That's what this event is about. So if you want to check it out, go to savingdinner.com/bloom and you'll see all about it. I want you to check it out because it really is going to be, it's going to be my best event ever. I've done several and they've always been smaller. This one's going to be a little bit bigger and it's going to be off the hook. Check it out. Also, ships free. You asked me, what's ships free? This week, if you put hot melt mix, which is what I'm drinking right now, and of course I didn't do the thingy to make it go backwards, sorry. But hot melt mix is, we got MCT oil, electrolytes, the whole thing, and exogenous ketones, and it makes you feel fab. You throw that into your cart, anything else that you want. I don't care if you have 50 things in there. It will ship free. We will ship it to you free as long as you don't live in, Malaysia or something. You just need to live here and we will ship it free. That's how we roll. We love to do and help and do anything that we can. And we love the fact that, too, you guys take good care of us. So thank you for that. That's really a pretty good thing. It's a really cool thing to have all of you on our team. And thank you for supporting Saving Dinner all these years. 19 years, 19. So also I just wanted to mention the body clutter tea. We still have a few bags left. Get on it. Get on it. You can throw that in with your hot melt mix and have like a wonderful party in your box, and get the whole thing shipped free. That's a good thing. So I kind of blew it, didn't I, on on flipping my thing. So I can't really show you the quote of the week. Otherwise, I'll make you just a little crazy because it's backwards. So it's a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, and he says that the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be, which we know is in and of itself the absolute bone honest truth, isn't it? This is the time that we have to take a look at this, because what does this all mean, really? Think about it. What does that mean? It means that our destiny isn't just left it for chance. Ooh, the wind. Sorry. I gotta close. I opened it because it was hot in here, and now I'm regretting it. Oh no! Oh, I did shoulders today, and so that hurts. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. Sorry. The only person you are destined to become is the person that you decide to be, because you're not left just out there by yourself and it's just like, well, it's just destiny and that's it and there's nothing I can do about it. That is not the truth. Do not believe it. It's a big fat honking lie. You know what the truth is? The truth is that the more that you're in the prefrontal cortex of your brain and understanding what the heck is going on and understanding this got to go, this has got to be added in, and dialing in your life, that is when you determine your destiny and you determine who you want to be. I like that. And I will tell you, as somebody who has done this myself in all different facets of my life, it is the God honest truth. It is. And who do you think put that in you in any way? Who do you think gave you that ability to think in such a way? We're the only creatures in the entire world that can do this. We have such incredible abilities, and half of the time we just let them sit there languishing, and we're on automatic pilot going through our Groundhog Days. One day after the other, they all look the same. We wake up to the music, I got you, babe, again and again and again. And we're like Bill Murray, we're looking up at the ceiling and thinking, oh no, here we go again. And life doesn't have to be like that. And that is part of the way that we do things as a community. We understand that is a guiding principle. We understand that. And that guiding principle is the thing that completely changes the very way that we do life. We do life differently when we are in our understanding, when we're in our knowing, when we're understanding exactly who we are, how we were created, and why that's important, why that's significant. And at the very end of the day, we understand that our worth is based on the fact that we are who we are. We are worthy because we were created in His image. We are worthy because we are here for a reason, for a purpose, and we're not done yet. God doesn't create junk. He doesn't say, oh, here, let's just do some junky humans over here. And, oh, these guys over here, they're the ones that I'm going to give all the fun stuff to. And the rest of them, well, I don't really care about them. Not even remotely true. He loves you so much that He knows every single hair in the head. He knows every single freckle that you have, even if you try to cover it with foundation. He knows everything, and He loves you that much. If we can keep that perspective and understand that even during the rough times, even during the bumpiness of everything, then we can keep going. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you a little bit about, that, oh, and by the way, tomorrow is Q&A. You know that, right? Hi, Diane, for coming. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow's Q&A. If you have a question, send it in to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday right there in the subject line, and you will help us out tremendously, and we'll get that done. So the thing that I want to talk to you today about is, and which, is right along these same lines, is that what are you doing to drive yourself? Because I will tell you personally that I have always been sort of a driven person. I've always worked so hard, so much, and so, and just burned myself out several times. But you know what I've come to the understanding of, a few years late to the party, that if stress is the thing that's driving me and pressure is the thing that's driving me, that's like running on, coal. And while coal will, definitely get the job done. I heard this from Kara Lowenthal, I think is her name. I thought this was such a brilliant thing. If I use coal, it's going to get the job done, but it's dirty, it's inefficient, and it's not, it's not the cleanest way. Now, compare that to clean, renewable energy. We've all heard about that. And what is that? Well, it's being calm, it's being productive, and it's understanding that everything is freaking doable. Marie Forleo says everything is figure outable, and it is. Sometimes we have to take things apart before we can understand what they're all about. When my son was little, I'd go to the thrift store and I would get, like toasters and things. You cut the cord off and give him a screwdriver and tell him to go for it. And then ask him to once he took it all apart, ask him to put it back together. It was a kind of a fun thing and a really cool thing for a kid to do. But sometimes the way that you understand how to put something together is to take it down to the bones. And we all have to do that. Sometimes we have to take a look and say, hey, this does not fit in to my plan for myself. Have you ever noticed that? How off alignment you are, and how you have like this discussion in your head on how all the crazy making that you have going on, and saying, this is just not what I want to be doing. And yet you plow through and you keep doing it because you're a people pleaser. You don't want to disappoint anyone. This happened to me quite a few years ago. I was in a situation with a bunch of homeschool moms, and I was the only single mother there. And there was an expectation on what it is that I needed to do. And they were all stay-at-home moms. Of course they had kids. And to make things fair, I had to do, you have to do this, I have to do that. You have to do this, and I had to do that. There was no grace. And what I recognized in that moment from all of this and how this whole situation was set up was that, first of all, one thing, we always have to start from the place of grace, don't we? When we start from the place of grace and expecting the best from everybody that's in it, then that's the best place to be. The word fair is a noun, and it's a place that you attend. My mother taught me this. My mother was in AA forever, and she taught me this, that, fair, when you just sit there and you work yourself silly over what's fair, then you're going to be spending a lot of your time a nickel and diming people to death. Instead of saying, let's just split the check, and you're going, no, you had the iced tea and I had the seltzer water, and my seltzer water was 50 cents different, and you're going to be doing that at the table. What happens is you become petty. You become, you just start to get into the weeds of things that really, in the long run, do they matter? In the long run, being fair like this, is that graciousness? Is that loving? Is that kind? Is that a beautiful thing to do? Is that something that you hope that your children are going to see and emulate later on down the road? Because they do pick up, what you are. So we have to look at ourselves. We have to look at the things that we're doing and understand, one, we're always 100% of the time setting an example, whether we want to or not, whether we believe it or not. And we'll see it later on. I mean, I've seen it with my kids, and I've just, sometimes have said, oh my gosh, they got that from me, this is terrible. This is something I didn't want them to have, but they did. It's what happens. It's part of the human experience. But on the other hand, we have an opportunity at any stage of the game to sit back and to be a lot more gracious with people, a lot more loving with people, and to tell them that, we have room for them wherever they are, without whatever their limitations are in our lives. But at the same time, we also have to be careful, and I know for some people it's easier than others, not to volunteer away our lives, not to give away all of our time and treasure and energy and everything else that we have, because at the end of the day, we got to keep something for ourselves. If we don't keep it for ourselves, you know what's going to happen? We'll have nothing when we need to apply it for ourselves. So again, how are we spending our energy on the things that we need to do? And instead of doing, the full-on stress out thing, I think it's time to pull back and to look at it and say, from a calm perspective. And this is why I always say to you, unplug the emotion from whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Also, the other thing that you need to do is sometimes you need to reverse engineer the whole thing. You need to take it apart and take a look at it and say, what the heck is going on? Have you ever seen this? I mean, I have. It's been interesting. And maybe you've done this yourself, but have you ever been in counseling? I have. I've certainly been in counseling. And, sometimes you're thinking, oh man, here we go again. They're going to start talking about my childhood and all the navel gazing, this, that, and the other thing. But guess what? Sometimes all of a sudden you have an aha moment and it shows up. And to me, that's when the clean, renewable energy happens, because now you have an understanding. And coming from a place of understanding and not needing to understand the whole entire complexity of everything, not taking apart the toaster and putting it all back together again perfectly, but understanding how the whole mechanism works in the first place. And what is it that ticks that box? What is it that causes that kind of a thing? And what is it that drives your car? What kind of fuel are you using? Because if your fuel is something that's old and outdated and costs so much in order to produce, and we're talking about your adrenal glands and the stress that you put yourself under, and I know about this because I've lived that for so many years, versus, again, pulling the plug out of the emotions of the whole thing and just taking a good, logical look what the heck is going on? What is it that you need to be dealing with right now? Do we have to fill in everything? We talked about puzzles before and how sometimes, without the box top of the puzzle, it's almost impossible to put the puzzle together because you have no idea what you're really about. The box top on that puzzle gives you a big vision of the box, of what the puzzle's going to look like when it's done. And so the first thing that you do, so you see that's your vision, and then immediately go to the puzzle pieces and you start doing what? Putting together the edges. Because if you can make the edges happen, then filling it all in is going to be simple. It's foundational. That's how you do a puzzle. And whether you've got 100 pieces or 500 or 1,000 or more, you got to get the edges down. And for us, our edges are laying down those foundational principles that we talk about all the time. And one of the foundational principles that I believe that we all need to write down in our journals and underline is that I need to take the emotion out of all these different things. If we are working off of our feelings, then our feelings are never going to fall into place to where we want them to be. We're going to be out of control and just, everything's here, there, and everywhere. And it's just like this big, confetti parade of chaos. And we can't have that in there. And this is not to dismiss the way you feel, ever. I would never do that to you. I had a discussion with a friend that was interesting. And he said that women have a tendency to want somebody to just listen to them, and they don't want solutions or anything. It was kind of said, I think, a little bit in disgust. And I said, you know what it is? What women want is, if you're going to come to the party and you're going to be listening, bring a box of Kleenex and bring a box of Band-Aids. First, we deal with the Kleenex. They want to be heard. Do you remember the movie Avatar? And I loved the movie Avatar with the little blue creatures and everything. The way that they said, I love you, is I see you. And this is one of the most beautiful things that a person can do for another person, is be seen and see them and see, yes, there are solutions over here that need to be added in. But for right now, they need to unload a little bit. And they need to just let that person know that this is just, this is where my heart is and this is where my pain is. And, can you just hear me out for a second? And then we'll bring out the box of Band-Aids and start, fixing that wound up. We need that. And we also need, too, that when it's Band-Aid time, we need to keep those emotions back in with the Kleenex box. Because that is the place that we can get the work done. Feelings aren't a bad thing, but working from your feelings and trying to solve problems from your feelings, not going to happen. You can have a strong feeling about something, which is completely different. But when we're dealing with the feelings just like this exasperation and crying and have you ever written an email where and then you hit send, you got tears coursing down your face, or maybe you did it on a Facebook post and you instantly regret it. That is what happens when you're dealing off the cuff with your feelings. And the feelings need to be dealt with a little bit, as much as you can. And if they keep coming back, you got to get them sorted through. And if you can't get them sorted through with, a friend or a spouse or whatever, then maybe you need to see a counselor or some kind of a psychologist or whatever it is that you need. We all need something. We all need a sounding board. We all need all of that. But we also need to really understand that in order to preserve our energy, in order to drive the car forward and get things done, we need to have a clean source of energy. And our feelings are never going to be that. Our feelings are never going to take us down that place. The deep intuitive knowing that we have, those aren't feelings. That's a different thing from feelings. Feelings can be crazy town. Feelings are things that I believe that half the people, or maybe more, of the population in a prison are in there for, violent acts or whatever, for stuff that they instantly regretted after doing, because they dealt with anger and rage and a feeling, rather than taking a minute and thinking about it and sorting it through and processing it. We have the ability to do all of that. I hope this isn't a big bunch of gobbledygook, but this is all the stuff that, this is where we are with our lives. We get this big spaghetti string feeling thing that's just a big mound of stuff. And it's hard to sort out. Sure, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say, oh, super easy, just do this and it's gone. But what I will say is that when we take those feelings and just take one at a time out of the hat, and just deal with them as we can and sort through and cry through the hurt and talk to somebody about the anger or the pain or whatever it is that we have, and then just understand, okay, now what, now it's time to pull the plug out. Okay, we're done with that. Where's the lesson? What can I learn from this experience? Where's the little piece of that puzzle that can help me form that edge so I can complete this vision that I have? Those are the things that drive our lives forward in a way that is clean and renewable and energy that we can keep renewing with. Because one way of doing it just completely depletes you. The other way of doing it is renewable. And especially as you start to get to the place of finding, aha, that's my solution. That's the missing piece. That's the puzzle. That's the edge. That's going to help complete this vision that I have for myself. We do that with our diets. We dial it in and we figure it out and we customize it, personalize it, tweak it, whatever we need to do. We do it with our working out. We do it with our housework and our rituals and our lives and our work. Think about your work for a minute. When you go to work, and if you just checked out from work all the time and just said, well, I'm just not going to be a part of this work, and it's just like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm too stressed out, I can't do this. I understand that, but your boss isn't going to understand that. Your paycheck is not going to come. You have to, at some point, sort these things out. It's like the puzzle. We got to get those edges down before we can fill it in and make that happen. Not doable without that kind of logical thinking. Not doable. And it's not dismissive to say, okay, you've had your time, it's my turn now, and to dismiss those feelings. I think we've become a slave sometimes to our feelings and a slave sometimes to the stress and the anxiety and the pressure that we put on ourselves. And if you were in a toxic situation where the boss is doing that or something else, girlfriends, just put your voice out there, speak up. You have the right to speak up for your life, and you need to be very articulate and, again, pull the emotion out of it and say, this is what's happening here at the workplace. I can do this, but I cannot do that. I can stay till this time, but I'm not going to stay here till that time. This is what I have. This is what I don't have. And we need to build a bridge over the gap of where you are and where I am, because this is not working. If I am going to continue to work here, blah, blah, blah. That's how we have to deal with things. If we shut up and put up, we're going to reap the rewards. Or, on the other hand, if we spend a lot of time on the phone, yada, 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 my life, blah, blah, it's awful. I hate it. I hate what I do. I hate this, I hate that, yada, yada. If that's what you're doing, if you're spending all of your energy with complaining, I promise you, your reticular activating system is going to go out and say, get her everything that's on her list. Go get it for her. Because that's your genie in the bottle. You rub the magic lamp. Ooh, this is what she wants. I'm going to go get it for her. So think long and hard about the things that you want to speak about, the things that you want to express, and how long you want to live in that place. I had a time with Mark where I'd been in a situation and this person had hurt my feelings and blah, blah, blah. I had all these things, blah. You know how it is. Amy says this is exactly what I needed to hear today. I'm ready to explode today at work. Well, it happens. I said to Mark, well, this is what it was. And then all of a sudden I started crying. I didn't know I was going to start crying. And he was very comforting and everything. And he was so good about giving me the box of Kleenex and not shoving Band-Aids up my face, you know? I didn't need Band-Aids yet. But I knew enough about myself. I knew enough that I need to pull the needed experience that I needed out of it. There was a nugget there for me, and I needed to look for it. So when I was done, wiped my eyes off and just said, okay, so what do you think I should do? What are your, what do you think? Listening to all of this, and you know the situation, you know the whole thing. What do you think? And it wasn't that I was asking him to tell me what to do. I wanted another perspective. I invited him in to my little world of hurt to help me to sort this out. It's nice. Now, did I need to hear this exactly? Did I need to say, did I need to have somebody else sort it out for me? No. But sometimes having somebody that you can bounce things off and just say, what do you think of that? And they'll sometimes say something that just goes ping right inside and help you to sort it out. That's not energy misspent, by the way. But you got to move on. You got to move on from that. If you keep going back to that same pile of crap and you do nothing about it, if you go to your friend or your spouse or whatever and you say, here's the thing, wow, they did this, they did that, and that's your daily, and you're doing nothing to fix that, you've lost your Kleenex privileges, sister. You have, because you're not doing anything about it. You can vent, you can say what needs to be said, but if you don't have a plan to go forward afterwards, if you don't have a plan to pull the nugget out, to get the experience, and to say from there, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do, or here's an idea, or maybe I don't have the full picture, but I'm going to do this one thing. I am going to speak up, and I'm going to write it out so that I say it in a way that's empowering for me, that's not putting down to the other person. I'm not going to use the words, you always, and if you didn't, I'm not going to blame shift. I'm going to take responsibility for how I feel, and then I'm going to go into the situation and describe how this is not working for me, and make some suggestions on what we can do to fix it. That's just how we have to roll. Because if we procrastinate that kind of a thing, we're back to Groundhog's Day. You're back to 6:30 in the morning, waking up to I got you, babe. Do you want that in your life? I know you don't want that in your life. I know you don't want that in your life. The way to break free from that is to have a vision for your life, like I talked about. I mean, I'm throwing all the metaphors. This is a big metaphor salad here. All the metaphors. But that vision, that box top of that puzzle piece, you can see the vision of what you want. You're laying the edges. And now to start to fill in, that's how you get that vision done, one piece at a time. You start doing things. You start saying the things. You speak up for yourself, because that's the loving thing to do. So who drives your car? Are you driving it, or are you letting other people drive it? Is your energy being sucked out and it's dirty and stressful and like black coal? Or is it clean and renewable because you're taking lessons and you're applying them in your life? Yeah, you're dealing with your feelings and you're crying it out a little bit and you've got your Kleenex going. But the Band-Aid box is right there. Band-Aid box is right there, and you're welcome to pick that up at any time and to start making the solutions happen. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you start actively looking for solutions and start being proactive and stop grousing and rolling around in it, you're going to be able to see other things that are there, because they are there, and it's there for those who are looking. Just remember that your brain is looking for the things that you are speaking about. What you think about and what you speak about expands. That stuff's gold. You can take that to the bank, and it will make you feel like an incredible new woman. Catherine said, without the vision, I'm riding on the crazy carousel. That's right. The carousel of crazy is is what our life is. And yeah, we use that analogy a lot for what our weight, the up and down with the weight and going around, going nowhere, always seeking a new guru, always seeking a new diet. But that's can be kind of a pattern of some other areas in our life. And when you understand that we are holistic beings and synergistic, everything that we do and the solutions that we seek are all on the same tangent. They are. I don't want to get up anymore to Groundhog Day. I don't want to ever hear Sonny and Cher sing "I Got You, Babe" again. I'm done with it. I don't know about you, but I am done with it. There's experiences and nuggets in everything that you experience, and even how deeply you feel about them. I understand that. And again, not dismissing it, but saying to you, you have the power at any moment to pull the plug out of the emotions, dig for the gold, and then use that to make an even better version of yourself at your workplace, with your body, with your health, with your mind, with your relationships. It's all applicable. 100%. I wouldn't lie to you. Almost forgot about the mindful mug. Don't forget, you want to win a mindful mug, share this video to everyone that you know publicly. I see it. And tell them to come on into the sprint. That's happening on March 9th. Sprint, go to savingdinner.com/sprint. And, the other thing is you can get this free, a mindful mug free, if you spend $250 in our store. We will just go ahead and throw that in. If you're smart, you'll put hot melt mix in there too. So the whole thing is free. I'm telling you how to do this. I'm telling you the tricks here. I've got all the tricks. I know how to do this. And I appreciate you guys being here. So don't forget tomorrow's Q&A, and I will see you tomorrow. If you're part of Hot Melt Club, I'll see you at 2 o'clock, 20 minutes, in the Clubhouse on Facebook, and we're going to get to Q&A. Q&A. Love you guys. Peace be with you. Talk to you later. Bye.